Have you ever wondered why Israel, a small yet significant nation, seems to have a tense relationship with its neighbors? Nestled in the heart of the Middle East, Israel's existence was officially recognized in 1948. This marked a significant moment in time, not just for the Jewish people who had long yearned for a homeland, but also for the Palestinians who found themselves displaced. This displacement of Palestinians was not taken lightly by the neighboring Arab countries. They immediately declared war on the newly formed state, setting the stage for a complex and often strained relationship that continues to this day. The very formation of Israel was a source of contention, a spark that ignited a fire of conflict in a region already steeped in historical and cultural complexities. Thus, from the very start, Israel found itself in a challenging position. And as we journey through its history and its relationships with its neighbors, this initial struggle continues to be a recurring theme. The establishment of Israel was immediately followed by the 1948 Arab-Israeli War. This conflict, also known as the War of Independence in Israel, was sparked by a myriad of reasons, but primarily the rejection of the United Nations Partition Plan for Palestine. This plan proposed the creation of independent Arab and Jewish states with Jerusalem under international administration. The countries that took up arms against the newly formed Israel included Egypt, Jordan, Syria, Iraq, and Lebanon. These nations, collectively known as the Arab League, sought to prevent the establishment of a Jewish state in what they considered to be Arab territory. The war resulted in an Israeli victory, with the young nation not only maintaining its existence, but also expanding its territory. This victory, however, came at a high cost: the displacement of a large Palestinian population, a fact that continues to be a source of conflict today. The outcomes of this war significantly shaped Israel's relationship with its neighbors. For Egypt, Jordan, and Syria, it was a humiliating defeat. This war ignited deep-seated animosity and a desire for revenge, setting the stage for future conflicts. While Israel emerged as a state capable of defending its sovereignty, it also became a focal point of regional tension. This war was just the beginning of Israel's tumultuous relationship with its neighbors. Fast forward to 1967, when the Six-Day War broke out. This was a pivotal moment in the history of Israel and its relationship with its neighbors. The war was triggered by years of escalating tensions and territorial disputes between Israel and three of its neighboring countries: Egypt, Syria, and Jordan. Egypt, under the leadership of President Gamal Abdel Nasser, had been flexing its military might while fostering alliances with Syria and Jordan. Israel, feeling threatened, launched a preemptive strike against Egypt on June 5th. This bold move was a game-changer, setting the stage for what was to come. In a remarkable demonstration of military prowess, Israel managed to seize control of the Sinai Peninsula from Egypt, the Golan Heights from Syria, and the West Bank, including East Jerusalem, from Jordan, all within 6 days. These territorial gains significantly altered the map of the Middle East and marked a new chapter in Israel's history. However, the rapid occupation of these territories sparked controversy. While some saw it as a necessary act of self-defense, others viewed it as an aggressive expansion. This controversy has roots in the conflicting narratives of the involved parties. From Israel's perspective, the war was a desperate fight for survival. Yet, for Egypt, Syria, and Jordan, it was an act of unwarranted aggression. The aftermath of the war brought about a significant shift in power dynamics in the region. Israel's military triumph bolstered its standing, but at the same time, it increased the resentment and hostility of its adversaries. The war left a lasting impact on the psyche of all parties involved, creating a deep-seated mistrust that has proven difficult to overcome. Indeed, the Six-Day War was not just about territorial gains. It was a complex and multifaceted event that significantly shaped Israel's future and its relationship with its neighbors. The war's legacy is still palpable today, with the occupied territories remaining a major point of contention. The aftermath of the Six-Day War added fuel to the already smoldering tension between Israel and its neighbors. In 1973, the Yom Kippur War broke out, a surprise attack on Israel. This conflict, also known as the October War, was initiated by a coalition of Arab states led by Egypt and Syria. The goal? To reclaim territories lost during the Six-Day War in 1967. The Yom Kippur War, named so because it started on the holiest day in the Jewish calendar, Yom Kippur, was a brutal and bloody conflict. It was marked by strategic miscalculations, political maneuvering, and a desperate struggle for survival. Despite being taken by surprise, Israel managed to turn the tide of the war and push back the invading forces. The conflict ended with a ceasefire, but not before leaving a deep imprint on the region's psyche. The war's aftermath was as significant as the conflict itself. It led to a shift in the dynamics of the Middle East and marked a turning point in Israel's relationship with its neighbors. The war prompted serious self-reflection within Israel, leading to changes in its military and political strategy. One of the most profound outcomes of the Yom Kippur War was the Camp David Accords. These peace agreements, brokered by the United States in 1978, led to a formal peace treaty between Israel and Egypt in 1979. This was a historic moment, as it marked the first time an Arab country recognized Israel's right to exist. The Yom Kippur War and the subsequent peace treaty with Egypt were significant milestones in Israel's history. While Israel found some respite in its relationship with Egypt, its tensions with Lebanon escalated. This escalation can be traced back to the creation of the Israeli state itself. The influx of Palestinian refugees into Lebanon following the Arab-Israeli War of 1948 and the Six-Day War of 1967 played a significant role in stirring tensions. As Palestinians launched attacks against Israel from Lebanese territory, Israel responded, leading to decades of conflict. The situation took a further downturn with the emergence of Hezbollah in the early 1980s. Founded as a Shia Islamist political party and militant group, Hezbollah was and still is backed by Iran. It has been a thorn in the side of Israel, launching attacks across the border and engaging in a protracted guerrilla war. The Lebanese Civil War, which lasted from 1975 until 1990, further complicated the situation. During this period, Israel launched two major military operations in Lebanon with the aim of curbing attacks from Palestinian groups. However, these interventions led to increased hostility from Lebanese factions and ultimately the establishment of Hezbollah's stronghold in southern Lebanon. The Israeli-Lebanese conflict peaked in the summer of 2006 with a full-blown war between Israel and Hezbollah. The war lasted 34 days, resulting in significant casualties on both sides and widespread destruction in Lebanon. A United Nations brokered ceasefire eventually brought the conflict to a halt, but the tensions persist. Hezbollah's role in this conflict has had a profound impact on Israel's relationship with Lebanon and Iran. Iran's support for Hezbollah has strained Israel's relations with the Persian nation, adding another layer to the already complex regional dynamics. Israel's relationship with Lebanon is a chess game of power, influence, and survival. Despite the ongoing conflicts, Israel has managed to maintain its sovereignty and continues to strive for peace. The Israeli-Lebanese relationship remains a key piece of the Middle East puzzle, a testament to the intricate and intertwined history of this volatile region. Today, Israel stands amidst a complex web of relationships with its neighbors. This small yet resilient nation continues to navigate a volatile geopolitical terrain, marked by both breakthroughs and ongoing tensions. In recent years, Israel has seen a thawing of relations with some of its neighbors. The Abraham Accords, signed in 2020, signaled a paradigm shift in the Middle East. Under this agreement, the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain normalized their relations with Israel. The accords were a diplomatic triumph, fostering economic cooperation, cultural exchange, and a shared commitment to regional stability. Yet the road to peace is far from smooth. Israel's relationship with Palestine remains fraught with challenges. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict, a deeply rooted dispute over land and identity, continues to simmer, with sporadic outbreaks of violence. Despite numerous attempts at mediation, a permanent resolution seems elusive. The question of who is the bully and who is the victim often depends on the lens through which one views this protracted conflict. Further afield, Israel's relationship with Iran is characterized by deep-seated animosity. Iran's nuclear program and its support for militant groups such as Hezbollah in Lebanon and Hamas in Gaza are key sources of tension. Israel views Iran's actions as existential threats and has taken steps, both overt and covert, to counter them. Despite these challenges, Israel continues to chart its own course. bolstered by its technological prowess and strategic alliances. It's a nation that has learned to thrive amidst adversity, constantly adapting to the shifting sands of the Middle East. As we look to the future, the landscape of the Middle East is likely to continue evolving. Israel, as ever, will be a key player, its actions and reactions shaping the region's trajectory. Whether perceived as a bully or a victim, Israel's journey reflects the complexity of Middle Eastern geopolitics. Its story is a testament to the enduring power of resilience and the quest for peace, even in the face of overwhelming odds.